This is the Sean Hannity Show podcast.
Stay right here for our final news roundup and information overload in the final hour of the Sean Hannity Show.
Somebody, hey, yo, move back, move back, move back, move back, move back.
Yo, this is the that we are dealing with right now. Yo, this is right across the street from my house. Like, this is some bullshit. Get out of the house! Oh, run!
Run!
Oh!
Yo! Y'all see what y'all doing to our city? Y'all burning it down instead of doing the right protesting and doing the right is y'all thinking, yo? Y'all just burnt the church down. What y'all doing, yo? Y'all out here burning churches down. What's wrong with you? The police. You know, guess what, though? So guess what? You know what happens in Baltimore City? Huh? How we protect our blocks? Where you from? Huh? Where you from? Where are you from? Huh? Where in America? Which America? There's multiple versions of America. No, this is not. Why are you smiling? We are hurting. We are dying. I want you to leave. You can listen. You can support us, but you cannot join us.
David Dinkins is a leader we can look to. We know what he stood for. Let us take the challenge and example he presents and think about what we must do to make sure that this country we love, this city we live in, are both good and great. And please join me in saying a prayer for the family of Freddie Gray and all the men whose names we know and those we don't, who have lost their lives unnecessarily and tragically. And in particular today, include in that prayer the people of Baltimore and our beloved country.
All right, there you have the sights, the sounds, and the politics of what is going on in Baltimore here. As I pointed out, yeah, it's a teachable moment, but not the way that Obama thinks or Hillary thinks. And it's a problem that, you know, what gave rise to Baltimore are literally rooted in very specific things. Very specific things. The president suggests racist police tactics, what he calls a slow-rolling crisis, he says. But if we're going to analyze the years of neglect and money that is spent in the city of Baltimore, money and government did not help that city. Here to go through all of this, we have the Reverend Oliver White of the Grace Community United Church of Christ. The Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson, he's the president and founder of the group Bond, the Brotherhood Organization for a New Destiny. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Thank you, Sean. Thanks for having us.
Reverend White.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on what's happening in Baltimore?
Well, I feel bad. I feel bad for everybody. I think it was something that we can basically predict is going to happen.
Why would you think? Why would you predict this is going to happen? Why?
Well, until America gets its act straight, you can expect that this is going to happen. Until America trains its police officers to sincerely protect and serve, which is going to happen again.
But you don't know what happened to Freddie Gray yet, do you?
Nobody knows exactly what happened.
Well, nobody knows what happened. So when you say you're blaming the police officers, aren't you rushing to judgment in that statement, sir?
No, because what we do know is enough to motivate us. I mean, we do
enough
know
to motivate you to throw rocks and bottles and loot and rob and burn. Does that motivate people to do that?
Well, you know, when people have no other way to express their feelings about intolerance, you can expect
no other way to express their feelings but to go out and throw rocks at cops and boulders at cops and burn and loot and rob and steal. They have no other way to express their feelings?
What would you recommend me do? Write a thesis?
No, but if you believe in nonviolence like Dr. Martin Luther King, certainly everyone has a right to protest. The thing that I would like to know more than anything else, I want to know what happened first. And right now you don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Nobody that's in the streets of Baltimore robbing liquor stores and burning down churches and burning down senior centers and burning down CVS's, they don't know either.
Well, what we do know, we
don't know enough to make a definitive decision on whether or not there was some type of neglect here. We don't know.
People are not going to wait.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So there's no other way that we can expect them to act out, and people are not going to wait. So we can expect this in every city in America then.
Yeah, as it said in an old song, people are tired of waiting. And as long as these kinds of acts are repeated by police officers, you can expect it's going to happen again.
But again, you're rushing to judgment and blaming this totally on the police department. Let me ask you a question. It's 8:39 in the morning. 2 police officers are riding on a bicycle. What would you teach your congregants? Do you teach them to run, or do you teach them to stay there?
I would teach them to stay there.
You would teach them to stay there, but Freddie Gray ran. Now, he has a history of selling marijuana and heroin, and I'm not saying that's even related to this case, but it might explain why he didn't do that. In other words, why he ran, right?
Yes.
So it might explain his past run-ins with the police. Now, if you look at the city of Baltimore, this is a liberal dream. How many people, what percent do you think voted for Barack Obama in 2012? Do you know?
I have not the slightest idea.
I'll tell you, it's 87.4%. You know how many years?
I'm not surprised.
Elijah Cummings has represented Baltimore in Congress. You know how many years?
How many?
30 plus years there. So you basically have a Democratic-run city. A Democratic city, Democratic control, and there's a reporter, Michael Fletcher, who said that it's only a matter of time. But if you look at the money that is really spent, if we're going to talk about this, let me read from the National Review and Michael Tanner's piece. He said, Maryland has one of the most generous welfare systems in the nation. A mother with 2 children participating in 7 common welfare programs, the Temporary Assistance for Needy Family Program, the Food Stamps Program, SNAP, Medicaid, housing assistance, supplemental nutrition for women, infants, and children, the WIC program, energy assistance, free commodities, could receive benefits worth more than $35,000, yet nearly a quarter of the people of Baltimore still live in poverty. In 1960, Baltimore's poverty rate was 10%. So with all of the social welfare spending that we now have there, as the president said, it hasn't helped the people of Baltimore, has it? Hasn't helped their city.
No, you can't. It's not about welfare. It's about providing jobs that pay salaries that are adequate enough. It's about retraining people, learning new professions.
So then you would agree with me that since Barack Obama is now in the 7th year of his presidency, we have nearly 20 million more Americans on food stamps, nearly 20 million more Americans in poverty, the lowest labor participation rate since the 1970s. We've had 40 consecutive months of 46 plus million Americans on food stamps. So then I guess based on what you're saying is Obama's policies have failed cities like Baltimore.
No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying
Not saying that. I'll say that. Let
me say what I want to say here. Rush Limbaugh said yesterday something referring to the issue you bringing up. He said riots like Baltimore will continue until the black population stop voting for Democrats. All right. Now, in other words, what I'm trying to say here is...
All right, you want to take it up... I will say this. I will say Democratic policies. This is a Democrat-run city for decades, a city that went nearly 90% for Barack Obama, and their policies have not helped the people in that city, and that is just an incontrovertible fact. Jesse Lee, weigh in.
The Democrats have been in control of that city for nearly a little over 40 years now. And let's not forget that today the mayor is black, the police chief is black, majority of the police force is black. I think something like 50%. The problem is Reverend White, like Obama, is giving angry black people a way to justify their criminal acts. I have to tell you, Sean, things are not going to change for blacks who are acting this way until they take complete control of their own lives. The government is not going to fix their lives. It doesn't matter who is in government. It's not going to get better. When black Americans realize that they are wrong and that they have to be adults and take control, then things will get better. I blame the failing parents. There were a lot of children out there rioting and burning and carrying on. And they are only able to do that because they are coming from one-parent homes. They don't have fathers and mothers there to discipline them and guide them in the right way. So when Barack Obama said,
but I want to stop you for think of that one mother, Jesse Lee, That one mother went out. She saw her son on television, and she did to him what my father used to do to me, beat the crap out of him.
That's right.
And you know what? He deserved it. And you know what? When it happened to me, I deserved it.
When I saw that, Sean, it reminded me of the good old days when boys were boys and men were men. I would not have thought of doing anything like that because my grandparents would have taken me, and I mean, there's no word to express what would have happened. They laid that foundation down where I knew growing up that I had to respect authority. I had to respect other people's property. We had no right to do that. So when I saw that mother doing that, I thought, wow, just think what would happen if most of these mothers, and that woman admitted that she was raising her children alone, but she's doing the best that she can do. If half of those parents would take responsibility for their children, take them away from the government and raise them, we would not see this happening in cities across the country. One other unfortunate thing, Sean, is that you cannot control a moral people. You have to demoralize them in order to control them. And by Barack Obama telling police officers to do more, to do some soul searching, he's implying that police officers are the problem. And I'm not saying you can't find problem in the organization, but the problems that are happening in the black community is not due to police officers. It's due to the lack of family structure. It's due to the lack of good education. These same black Democrats would fight against school vouchers, which would allow parents, single parents, to take their children to the school of their choice. They don't want that happen. They want black Americans to be brainwashed, dumbed down, and demoralized. Barack Obama said that he would like to federalize the police departments around the country. He knows that he's not going to be able to do all of them, but he wants to do it. So when you have these riots happening, he accused the police officers or department of being racist. He said, well, you know what? We're going to bring the federal government in for oversight so we can see what's going on. And so in essence, he using black Americans for his own personal gain.
Let me go back
and that is for redistribution of wealth and power.
Reverend Wright, respond to that.
You know, I can't believe I heard what I just heard, that he's a parent. The Reverend is apparently suggesting that President Obama is not doing his job.
He's not.
Wait. Reverend White, let me give you numbers. Nearly 20 million more Americans on food stamps, nearly 20 million more in poverty. He's going to accumulate more debt than every other president before him combined. And the lowest labor participation rate since the 70s. And you're saying he's not responsible? What happened on his watch? That happened on his watch.
No, you can't.
I can't blame him, huh? Is it George Bush's fault? Is it Fox
Bush's
News?
fault.
Is it Fox News' fault?
Well, I mean, the president is not a king.
Well, Sean, just imagine.
You know, he
Reverend White
has to work with Republicans. So there we
Reverend
go.
White.
There's the problem.
Reverend White, tell me this.
What?
For the last 6 years, let's say that Obama had focused on rebuilding families in the black community, encouraging black fathers and mothers to get together and raise their children. Had he cut back on taxes so that black men and women can start businesses and hire other blacks in their communities. Had he said, okay, we're going to have school vouchers so that parents can have a choice as to where they want to put their children to be educated. What would the black community look like today, 6 years later?
Be in better shape. Everybody would be in better shape.
Yes.
Any community would be in better shape because the schools are failing these kids. Look, this is a deeper discussion. I just wish I had more time. We have to leave it go here, but I want to thank you guys both for being back together. Reverend White, we agreed the last time. You know.
Well,
you know,
there's more things.
I guess 1 out of 5 isn't bad for you. So we're just going to get you up to speed a little more on conservative principles solving problems. All right, thank you for being with us.
I would. Someday the Reverend and I need to swap pulpits.
I would love that.
I would love that. Why don't you invite me? Where's your church, Reverend? I'll speak there.
Well, my church is in South St. Paul, Minnesota, and you are welcome. In fact, I would like to extend you an invitation, Mr. Hannity, to come and speak to us.
I would love to.
Tell us liberals how off the wall we are. I mean, I would love for that to happen. And
Reverend,
then we can have
I would love to come And the only thing I need from you is a pulpit, a microphone, and security, and I'm there. Some people don't.
Well, we want to depend on the Baltimore Police Department.
All right, that's cool enough. All right, thank you, Reverend. God bless you.